Okay, I wasn't really planning on recording something this late, but kind of feel like I wanted to say a few things because a lot of things were on my mind and whatnot, and I feel like this would appeal to a lot of people who are feeling down. I'm just recording this at like 3 o'clock in the morning, so kind of just chilling. Well, pretty much what made me kind of do this, to be honest with you, I woke up at around like, don't know why, after doing a live stream of GTA 5, but I woke up at 2:50 a.m. and I was scrolling through, the usual social media, Facebook, Twitter at times here and there, and I couldn't help but notice that someone was feeling not the greatest at that time. So, I was saying, I never even knew that you really seemed down and whatnot. I'd be offering to help you out with that, your situation, even if it's out of my reach, but I can still help you with, whatever is going on, just give you motivation and such. But, I noticed that a lot of people don't really like to express that they're feeling some type of way at times, and it's totally understandable because, I don't think people would want to just express to people, oh, I'm feeling kind of upset, out in the open, because, it's kind of room for anyone who have different kinds of, who have different mentalities, and telling you, well, there's one side of people who say, well, everything's gonna be alright, and, we got your back and such. But then there's another side who would probably say, well, deal with it. And, some people might not be ready to hear either sides of the game, because, people grow up in different ways and whatnot, and some people grow up kind of having to deal with a lot through their lifetime. Sometimes some things need to be said, so I kind of feel like I want to put this all together in one massive speech and such. So I kind of wanted this speech to, well, is it this is a speech? I don't even know if it's a speech, just little thoughts thoughts of mine. So, here's what I think to the subject that I want to call the key to happiness. Now, a lot of people tell me happiness comes from different places and such, and, it could take a little small bit of, like, an animal, a pet, for someone to be happy, or, food, or slumber, really. A lot of things make people happy, a lot of different things. So, like, maybe it can even be someone's misfortune, because it could tell them, oh, hey, here's my chance to help a friend out. And, well, that's just me thinking positive and whatnot, because, I grew up that way. A lot of people tell me that I'm too naive and such, but, I'm kind of used to it now. Like, I have a certain mentality that that has me look at the positives of everything. I don't really think negative of people when I first see them. Not that I really ever want to think negative of anybody who I meet, because I'm a really social person, so I like to, give my good first impressions and say, hey, I'm Kamau. I like to be pretty cool with you guys. I want to help you out when you're down and whatnot. I've kind of grown up always wanting to be happy for people and whatnot, and I still want to be that way, because it's, people tell me like, yo, why don't you get angry at anything? Well, I kind of respond with, it's because I kind of feel like, well, it's tiring to be angry, for one thing. It's just exhausting, and I kind of feel like it's not really worth my time to be angry. I'd rather just look at the positives of everything and just deal with it. The key to being happy is, what you kind of grow up with is one big factor to why someone's happy, because there's some people who grow up being told that they're worthless, they're a waste of time, they're a mistake, and I hate to see that being told as people who really try their hardest to be helpful in the world. And I can even say an example right now, but yeah, like, a lot of people told that they're just a waste in this world, and that just breaks my heart that I hear some people say that. So I kind of just want to say to those kind of people, if this really gets out there, which will of course take a while because I'm a growing YouTuber. I really just want to help out people who feel down, and either it be through social links, my music, or well, my this speech. I just want to try to get some. I want to try to reach out to people and tell them, everything's gonna be all right. So when I say to those people who are told that they are a mistake in the world, don't ever listen to them. That's kind of an obvious thing. And if you ever think about harming yourself because you feel like you're a waste of time, just don't. It's not a good option at all, because people who are out there who want to help people out, there's a lot of people out there. Like, I can point out a few examples, like Markiplier, maybe Yami Mash, Korix Kenshin. There's a lot of people out there who really just want to help out in the world. And, well, this is kind of just my own, this is my own journey to learning how to help people out. I'll drop some words of truth too, like, even if there's any situation that you feel like you can't overcome, there's always something better coming for you. Because here's what I say, I might say this from my own, this is my own experience and my own lifestyle of kind of just like, just me being me at times, and also kind of having a certain experience in my life. But here, this is what I say. Like, if you really feel that worthless, then you should look at the reasons of why you are still alive today. Because there's always something new telling you that this world is something to be adored. Whether it be trees, the nature, your family, technology maybe, if that's even possible. Well, it is. I'll be positive with that. Anything can cheer anyone up, and whatever situation you're going through, this is where I like break lines and whatnot. But here, when you think that you're completely at a stump and you feel like, there's nothing else I can really do, where do I go from here? Well, maybe don't just throw the towel, because that's a gateway to becoming more upset, because you pretty much just give up on yourself, saying like, there's no way I can really amount to whatever and whatnot. And for people who say, I can't be just like that guy over there, or for example Markiplier, he's just so happy and stuff and just out there and such. But he got there for a reason, because he used to have a lifestyle where people, I'm not really sure exactly what his backstory is, to be honest with you, but he used to be depressed. He used to be very depressed back then. But, now he's kind of past that, and he's kind of out there just helping people out. Shout out to Markiplier, 7 million subscribers. But, here's what I say. I said this before, but don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. Your story might be more cruel than Mark's story, or anyone that you hear in that matter, but that's more of a reason of why you need to keep walking and telling people your story, because you'll be the key to someone else's heart when they feel empty. And not a lot of people really recognize that. I try to recognize that every single day, and I really want to try to be someone who helps out people, and I always want to try to be thankful for what I have today in this world, and what I stand for and such, because there's a lot going on in my life that I feel is slowly progressing to be a new adventure. Well, adventure yet to begin, really. But there's high school that people have to go through at times. People still in high school right now, I can assure you that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, even if it seems like it's really, really dull and just nothing there. There's always a light, and I tell that to a lot of my own friends because they struggle with high school too, and they just feel like there's no point to going on because they're just told so many times that they're just worthless. Like there's no reason for them to be here anymore. But you just always have to tell them that they're wrong. You have to put a cast around your heart and tell them that they were wrong. And that's all I really have to say about you guys, because there's a lot of people out there who have their own stories to express to people. In one way or another, I never really liked to realize that someone killed themselves because they felt worthless. And a lot of people have to deal with that. So this is for all the people who feel down. Don't ever give up. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. The key to happiness comes from patience and time. Happiness is a choice. You can either choose to be depressed about something, or you can choose to be happy, because whatever happens, sometimes bad things happen. That's okay, because now you witnessed it and now you have new experience. And don't take that as in I have more things weighing my heart down. Take that as in I learned something today. I'm going to apply that to my future. And I recently kind of learned something. There was an argument that I got to recently, and it was about a certain historical event that we all know. And I was a little bit iffy about someone getting angry about a certain thing that they were reminded of, a certain historical event that they were reminded of. They just wanted to get rid of it, just forget it entirely, and just never hear of it again. But I kind of had to talk with someone else about the argument, and I'm pretty chill about it. Like it wasn't really an argument in my eyes. I kind of just took it as well, this is what I think, because I don't feel that anybody should get bent out of shape about a historical event that they're reminded of, because it's kind of happened already. I was recently told that maybe you should never forget history, because if you do, then history really repeats itself. And that can be applied to happiness, because once you realize something happened, it's already happened. You can apply it to your life, and you'll have to it'll take you a while to get used to it, but it won't be weighing your heart anymore. It'll just be supporting your life, really, because you can apply that to your own future. As I said, telling people your story. And well, if you choose to be happy, it's more the better. It's easier to really deal with what you have to deal with, because it's tough out there having to see so much misfortune going on, and it only gets worse if you take it in a depressing manner and hurting yourself for that reason. And I'll even break the barriers as to saying, if someone's going through a really bad situation with family, themselves, friends, school, people, whoever, don't just lose faith on people, because it's never good to just stay mad or sad at something. You just have to be happy. It's you've lived long, and I'm sure most of you have lived long enough to realize that happiness is a choice, because we've all had times where we were young and we were like, I don't want to be happy, I don't want to be cheered up at all. Even though something seemed like it would cheer you up, you just felt like, no, I don't want to have this be, I want this to make me happy right now. Take that opportunity that you have to be happy, because there's obviously people out there who want to help you out, and people who want to support you and have you go through your worst times and see a better light. And you know what? Hey, if there's not anyone out there, then let these words be a key to happiness. Happiness is a choice, and whatever you have to go through, it's just more to the experience that you'll have as a lifetime. And whether the experience is good or bad, it's always something that will benefit your life, because, well, we don't really know what good is until we've seen the bad, to be honest with you. And I say this in a spiritual sense, that there's a lot of people out there who obviously have like the will to have good motives, but everyone has a different kind of opinion about that. But you know what, for people out there who choose to endure themselves through pain, sorrow, depression, for the sake of seeing the other side of the story of what people call life, it's not worth trying to figure out what the other side of the story is. Because for someone to crave knowledge about the world, it only leads to their own destruction and their own sorrow that they have to endure more of. And that's never good. I don't care how tough you are, it's never good. Just choose to be happy, because it makes everything better. For people out there who are struggling with the problem, it's hard, but always stay happy. To be honest with you, I don't really have much else to say about this, but just choose to be happy, because it makes everything better and everything else worthwhile. Once you've endured through what you call the worst and be happy about that, you'll be even happier at the end of the road. And that's when you can tell people your story about how you endured this, how you lived through what you had to live through. So go ahead, and whoever has a story out there, express this to someone who's dealing with the situation right now. If you're going through if you're going through a situation right now, well, hang in there. There's someone out there at the other side waiting to help you out. Wherever they may be, they're somewhere out there. I know it. And so do a lot of people who want to help out. They know it too. I don't even mean to make this sound cliche, but they do. They know that there's people out there who need a lot of help. And, I'm just another person who wants to do the same. Help people out with, my music, my social links, artwork, whatever really helps people out. Maybe these words will help you out. So, I also want to say shout out to Corey X Kenshin for reaching 70,000. Proud of you, man. Good job. And Markiplier, good job for reaching 7 million. It's crazy to think about that. Keep up the good work, guys. And well, that's all I really have to say about that. If these words help you out, that makes me happy. I really hope these words were helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.